Howdy, it's episode 53 of my blind old school RuneScape playthrough from years ago. This was all recorded back in September of 2021. Getting really close to the end of this series. There's about one more video, maybe two, depending on how they edit. This one I'm continuing to do my 5kc at Corrupted Gauntlet every day, and then also just doing AFK Rune Dragons to try to build up money and Dragon Bones for Prayer XP. Like I mentioned in the last video, the NVIDIA broadcast software I was using had a weird update around this window and it constantly cuts out. So what happens is you can still hear my mic completely fine, but also you can hear the background AC running in the area, and it's kind of annoying when it happens. I think it's tolerable. I can't really edit it out, but just be prepared that occasionally the AC is going to kick in and then kick off as NVIDIA broadcast filters it back out. The only other thing to mention is I was getting really insane with RuneLite plugins. I think I warned about this a little bit earlier. There's too many plugins, especially at Rune Dragons. It's pretty useful to have a respawn timer plug in there because it lets you know when a dragon's going to spawn, so you can go stand in the position to attack it. But that plugin, at least when I was playing, is bugged so that whenever they spawn their lightning attack, it spawns a million little respawn timers everywhere, and it looks horrible. So I'm sorry for that. You shouldn't have to stare at it too much since we're not doing the fast forwarding thing anymore. When I show you the old school RuneScape videos that I'm recording now, I'm obviously still going to use RuneLite plugins, but I'm going to tone it down as much as I possibly can, at least when I'm recording. And then I hinted at this a little bit in the last video. The conclusion of this video is really, really bad, but I've included it in its entirety without any editing, just to kind of put you in the headspace I was in when the really, really bad thing happened. So brace yourself for that at the end. It's pretty tragic. All right, here we go.
Hey, it's a new day. I think a lot of these days are just going to be Corrupted Gauntlet. I'm going to head back in there and get my 5kc for today. That was a really close kill. I've never been trampled when I walked in the room before, but I got trampled immediately. Lost like 50 HP at the beginning. No drops, as usual. I just don't expect them now. Stop giving me elite clues on my 4th kill of the day. Knock that out real quick. Elite casket, what we get? Nothing. Can't believe I won that one. I used redemption to save my life. Yikes. Still no drop, 65kc. Alright, I think I'm going to try Rune Dragons just to see how AFK they are. This first dragon's going pretty well. It's kind of AFK. I think the biggest issue is just there being too many players here, right? Yeah, I think it can handle 3 people, but not 4. My goal with doing this is I really like to get the Dragonfire Shield. I mean, that's like 8,000 Rune Dragon kills, which is not going to happen, but I need something to do that's productive while AFK, that produces money, and I really want to get my prayer to 92 before I attempt the Inferno, because I want the extra point of super restore healing. Even just coming here for the Dragon Bones is probably worth it. And I think this is probably a better dragon to camp than like the Brutal Black Dragons or anything like that. Might try this with Brawls, rather. Extra free damage. I should be able to support it with House Teletabs. And just not worry about alking, because I tend to eat food faster than alking matters. We got a Dragon Plate Skirt, which is pretty cool. I have an Orn kit for it, so got an Orn kit from a Master Clue forever ago and just had already alked all of my previous Dragon Plate Skirts. So I'll probably apply that. I wanted to see what an hour of this looked like, and it looks pretty good, to be honest. Like, It's about an hour, and I've got about 1.32 million, and it is pretty AFK, so I might keep this up. This might be the AFK thing that I record while Amethyst and Sacred Eels are off recording. This is probably the best possible chance for me to get a Visage, too. I just do this for a couple hundred hours. Pretty cool looking. Don't think I'll ever use it, but pretty neat. Yo, good morning, folks. Had some productive rune dragons there. Made about 4 mil in terms of alchables. I don't know how much of that is actually 4 mil. I guess just the stuff that I plan to alch, which is the crafting the rune bars into probably rune long swords. Alching all of those. But my plan is I'd like to do rune dragons until I have enough banked dragon bones to hit 92 prayer for the Inferno. That's like 1,000 dragons, so I'm about 10% of the way there. I AFK it for a couple hours every day. Should get me there eventually, and we'll have a decent shot at the Visage. It is a new day, though, so I have to go get my 5 KC at Gauntlet. So I'm going to go do that now. Well, died for the first time in a while, unfortunately. Got trampled and then covered in tornadoes. It's too bad. That was a pretty good run, too. Oh, got another elite clue scroll. We'll do that real quick. A master clue. Never mind. Well, Shazian scarf too, but I already had one of those. I'm not going to do the master right away. I'm going to finish, unless if I get another elite clue. But I guess if I get another elite clue, I'll just save the casket. Whoa, I just got disconnected in the middle of a Hunlef fight. Just completely abruptly. Just instant disconnect. That's never happened before. Oh god, it's a Comcast outage. Oh, kill me. I was having a basically perfect run. Comcast screwed me. Love how it happened in the middle of a fight too, not in the middle of prep. There's our 5KC for the day. That was as scuffed as it gets. Comcast outage, wasted one run. Another run just sucked. And after 70 KC, I still have 0 uniques. It's almost like I haven't had any KC at all. Ah, it's fine. This is fine. Just want to die a little bit. All right, turn the Inferno music off. It's good to keep me focused when I'm doing intense activities. I'm gonna switch to doing this master clue. Oh boy, I got the Legends Quest step. I think I can get like a long rope to. I have to use a summer pie to boost for it, but ultimately need 2 long ropes for 2 shortcuts. So theoretically, there should be a new shortcut here. Do a long rope. Let me see if I can find it. Use a long rope to make a shortcut. Yes. Wonderful, that's nice. Glad I was able to install that. Combine. There's always the risk you get this one again, and I did not. That's why I did this one last, though. Ooh, level 38, Wilderness, Chaos Temple, Ancient Wizard Trio. I don't like any of those words. Okay. Like the worst possible place for a Wilderness Clue step to be. The rest of them are arguably out of the way. Getting the hell out of here. I've done this one before. Iban Staff, Mystic Robe, top, dark, bottom, dark. I think I have both of those in my POH. God, I hope so. I have the bottom. Maybe I just have the top in my bank right now. Oh, Iban's Temple. I just realized where that is. Oh, thank God, I do have both. Jesus. We built that stash because reasons. Alright, got the casket. Let me go cash this thing in. Okay, Master Casket. What we get? Nothing. Hurts when you get nothing in a Master Casket. Alright, let me just sit here at the bank and get some alching done. I guess I probably want to sell all these pages too. It's going to do the same thing I've done before, which is just add to my tracker that I've sold those specific pages. So it's Zami page 2, Bandos page 2, Guthix page 4. Okay, save some bank space there. Let's see. I said I was going to take a break, but I actually have some work to do that's AFK, so I may as well do Rune Dragons in the process. Yo, yo, it's a new day. That means 5 more Gauntlet, KC. Let's go. And I got stacked out by tornadoes. I had a really bad location on the Hunlef. It's sad. Holy shit, holy shit, holy... Oh wait, it's a regular crystal weapon seed, fuck. That's not the good one. I guess at least I can turn it into shards. I got really excited. I finally have a unique after 71 kills. It's the worst possible unique, but at least I got a unique. I don't think I'm actually going to turn that one into shards, although I should double check, because I think I can turn it into a crystal shield, which I'm going to need. Alright, that gets us to 75 KC. Rough morning. I'm going to elite clue scroll. Go do that. Love for that to be on the 5th kill. Alright, elite casket. I'm going to clean up my inventory and open it up here. Oh, I got a new mask. It's kind of cool. Alright, I'm probably going to take a break and then come back and do AFK Rune Dragons. Just coming in off mute here, I was kind of bummed out by the crystal weapon seed dropping, because I thought it was an enhanced crystal weapon seed when I first saw the text. But just looking at the loot table, because I had completely ignored that on the loot table, and it is the same drop rate as the armor seed. So I am more than willing to use the equivalent exchange rule to sub that out. I've said this a million times, but again, I do not want this playthrough to be just a shitty Iron Man. Follows all the rules of Iron Man, but doesn't have the little icon next to my name. So I'm not going to make that trade right away. We'll see how many crystal armor seeds I have naturally by the time we get the enhanced weapon seed. But it's on the table as a possibility. Oh, shield left half and a clue scroll. Because after I finish this inventory, I'll go do this elite clue. But I imagine getting both of those on the same drop is, like, astronomically rare. It's almost certainly rarer than the stupid visage that I'm here for. Shield is a 1 in 34,000 drop, and the elite clue is a 1 in 300 drop. Cool. Elite casket. Let's see what we got. Oh, that's actually significant. That is actually significant. That's actually significant. Wow, I'm kind of I'm impressed we got that. Can I remember that I have that? Holy wraps. Prayer bonus on gloves. It might be the best in slot prayer bonus on gloves. Let me take a look. There's a very small amount of content where that's relevant, but yeah, best in slot prayer bonus on gloves. I think I was actually using... Now I have the expert mining gloves, but I was using the Ceradomin bracers before while we were boosting mining. So, cool. I will put that in my bank. I'm not going to put that in the Playground house. I've not used to getting something that's potentially relevant from a clue scroll, so that's actually quite exciting. All right, well, either way, let's go back to Rune Dragons. All right, I got a prep for stream, but this has been a pretty productive day. Basically got a bond's worth of gold from Rune Dragons. I'm going to stay here until I have about 1,100 bones so that I can hit 92 prayer. I'll see you next time. 5 more Gauntlet KC, probably more Rune Dragons. This is going to be the thing we do for a while, I think. Bye. Hey, it's a new day. That means 5 Corrupted Gauntlet KC. I'm on my way. Pressed the wrong button, I gotta leave. Fortunate, the prep phase was almost over. The one that I had to bail on because I made the halberd, I also only had like 16 seconds left to craft everything, so I probably would have gotten screwed anyway. It was better that I bailed, I think. Alright, there's our 5kc for today. Probably got nothing here. Yep, nothing. Alright, I'm gonna take a break, I think, and then we'll go do something new. I guess I'm gonna go do Rune Dragons. Why not? Another elite clue drop. It's pretty cool. I'll do this trip, I guess, before I do it. Alright, elite casket. What we got? It's a mimic. Neato. Haven't done that in a while. I don't think I ever made an inventory setup for this, but why would I? Yeah. Alright, well, I have to look that up really quick because I never remember how to do this. I think we go with all mage gear, right? Fight the mimic. Here we go. Mimic complete. No problem. Alright, opening mimic. What do we get? It's a terrible chest. Absolutely terrible, given that it was a mimic. Oh well, shit happens. I think I'm going to step away real quick, and I'll be back. Hey, it's a new day. That means 5 Gauntlet KC. Here we go. Excuse me, another Elite Clue Scroll. Let's go do that. Okay, Elite Casket. What we get? Garbage. Another Crystal Weapon Seed, which, again, due to equivalent exchange, I can trade for a Armor Seed. So, that sucks, though, because I think Crystal Weapon Seeds are like 7 mil gold each, and the regular Weapon Seeds are like 300k. But at least means that it'll help with going dry on the Armor Seeds, if that happens, which I already am pretty dry on them. Alright, back at it. Alright, 5kc's done for the day. What do we get? You know, I'm always playing the Inferno music, but just, it's there to be motivating. Keep my eyes on the prize. My plan is to do Inferno very shortly after getting this full set, so to me this is the end of the playthrough, grinding out this Crystal Armor set plus F-Bow. Okay, I'm back. Let's go do Rune Dragons. We're at 500 kills, slightly more than 500 because the loot tracker doesn't work if I have to teleport out and it dies while I'm away. But that's about halfway to being done. It's a little over 1,000 that I need to get to 92 prayer. 17 million gold so far, which ain't bad. That's 3 of the bonds that I need to buy back to pay for splits. So if we double that amount, that gets us to 6. That gets us pretty close, and it's fairly low stress and attention from me. I'm going to finish up this trip, and then I got to leave to prep for stream, so see you soon. Yo, it's another new day. That means 5 Corrupted Gauntlet KC. Let's go. There's a crystal I'm playing. I'm going to catch it real quick. Amulets of Power. Useless. feel like I'm ahead of the drop rate on elite clues. 11 elite clues and 157 kills. That's where all my RNG is going. So I think it's like a 1 in 20 chance, so I guess I'm pretty ahead if I'm looking specifically at corrupted gauntlet clears, which don't get tracked separately in here. Okay, casket time. What we got? Huh. Piscarilius Scarf. Okay. There's our 5kc for the day. Let's see. Nothing, probably. Nothing. Right. Take my usual break and then figure out what we're doing next. I didn't realize how many gems this gives. This is like... It's going to be like 1,000, possibly 2,000 gems if we... Well, possibly 4,000 gems if we get all the way to 400 KC without the drop. Which actually adds up to a lot of potential crafting XP, which is good because we need to get more crafting levels to craft all the Zenyte jewelry. I'll probably go harder on trying to finish out the Zenyte jewelry once my crafting level approaches that point. But I'm going to step away, so I'll see ya. Alright, I'm back, and guess where we're going? The Rune Dragons. Let's go. We're getting there. Need like 1,100 dragon bones to get to 92 prayer. Holy crap. There's no one at Rune Dragons on this server. I've never seen this before. Probably going to last for like 10 minutes. Got another elite clue, so I'm going to do that real quick. It looks like it's a wilderness step, unfortunately, but never gotten this step before. Probably going to build the stash unit for it. Rune Boots, Proselyte Hauberk, Dragonstone Ring. Probably have all that. Sorry, I still have this cough thing. If you ever hear me talking and like I lose my voice towards the end of my sentence, it's because I have a residual cough from when I was sick earlier. Alright, Rune Boots, which I have 23. Good for me for not getting rid of all those. I have to grab and buy a new one of those later. And I'm going to have to make a ring, because I guess I crafted mine. Alright, Elite Casket. What we get? Nothing at all. Yeah, I've gotten like 167 kills here. I'm going to take a short break. Probably will come back and continue doing this because I've got some AFK work I need to get done. Back for more Rune Dragons. I ended up getting a Elite Clue Scroll again, so I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, Elite Casket. It's a Mimic! Mimic number 5. That's rather exciting. I did not make an inventory setup, did I? No. Even though I just did it, I was like, how often do you get Mimics? Mimic kill count 5. Nice. Let's see what's in this thing. Last roll was absolutely terrible. Comparably terrible. An extra 15 manta rays from the Mimic. Oh boy. Killed about 250 dragons today. That's probably going to be enough. I'm going to finish up this trip and then I got to prep for stream. Nothing super interesting from drops so far, but lots and lots of money, so that's good. I'll see you around. Hey, new day. Let's go. Got a crystal impling on my way in. 8 Ranar seeds. That's a pretty good drop. 370k for free. I mean, it's not 370k. I'm not going to sell it, but I am burning through my prayer potions while I'm doing Rune Dragons, so I'm gonna have to go on a farming spree with herbs pretty soon. I might have to restart this one because I just couldn't get a boss. I think I went around the entire bottom of the map. We'll see how quickly I can do prep, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm also not killing this thing very fast. Yeah, I'm not gonna make food in time. I gotta leave. Let's try this again. Here's our 5kc for the day. What do we get? Nothing. Once again, gearing up, headed to Rune Dragons. We still got Really, it's like 500 kills. I need to get to like 1,200 to make sure I have enough bones to top 92 prayer. Hey, more dragon limbs. That's cool. I got that pretty early on a Slayer task. Was able to make a dragon crossbow. That's cool to get another one. Hey, hey, new day. We're gonna get 100 KC at Corrupted Gauntlet today, so I'm gonna go do that. And then we're getting close to the end of the road for Rune Dragons. I need like 1,200 total kills, and we're at 938, so I might be able to just finish off that marathon. I might not stop there. Like I'll take a break to go get Prayer to 92, but I might keep going because this would be a great opportunity to just get the money that I need to pay off my debts. It would be great to just be done with that, right? Because it's currently kind of a specter hanging over the playthrough, which I'd like that to not be the case. Anyway, gauntlet time. Let's go. Elite clue? Go ahead and do it. Alright, Elite Casket. Completely terrible. It's like 5 minutes at Rune Dragons. Right, there's KC 100. Very nice. Probably still no drops, right? Yep. Alright, gear up and head back to Rune Dragons. That is 1,000 Rune Dragons. About 35 million gold. I'm not done. I got another 200 I need to get, but this is a pretty important milestone, I think. 200 to go. Let's see what happens. Another elite clue. Do that here once this trip runs out. Alright, casket time. Let's see. Nothing. I got a elite clue scroll again, so I'm going to do that real quick. Probably going to have junk loot. 3 wilderness steps. I hate it. Okay, elite casket. Nothing. I think I already had one of those, yeah. I guess an extra unholy blessing. That is the most important blessing. And I think I already lost one. I got PK'd in the Wilderness Godwars dungeon, so I take back my nothing. That is actually nice. It's good to have a backup. I don't have a ton of time left this session, not that you care, because it's just going to cut right back to me doing more Rune Dragons, but I'm going to go get a few more trips in before I got to prep for stream. And we're getting real close to the target of 1,200 Rune Dragons. I might push to 1,250. That's a nice... divides into 8,000. And it'll make sure that I should make sure that I have enough bones to hit 92 prayer. Something I'm thinking about, and I probably shouldn't do this because I'm going to want to die by the end of it, but I am considering staying at Rune Dragons until I get enough bones to get to 99 prayer. Maybe not 99 because 99 is absurd and doesn't really make a difference, but the next level tier for prayer potion dose, which I think is 96, I have to double check that. I need to figure out how many bones that is and how many hours that represents. I think it represents possibly 1,000 hours, but I'm hoping that this is my, infinite well of AFK that I've been thinking of Amethyst and Sacred Eels that way, but that's not useful AFK. What was I talking about? I was talking about something. Prayer to 99? Bad idea. Infinite source. Oh, yes. I was saying that I was hoping that Amethyst and Sacred Eels would be an infinite source of AFK, and they kind of are, except once I get the Bow of Ferdinand, the blowpipe becomes less relevant, and I don't need to use quite as many darts, either Amethyst darts or scales, as I was expecting to need, I think. I think most content that I would bring the blowpipe to, I would bring the bow to, usually instead. Whereas getting 8,000 kills here would be really nice, because give me a decent chance of getting that Visage drop for the account. And it would be not only enough money to pay off all current debts from buying bonds to do splits from group content, but it will also be enough money to likely cover all future money needs for the rest of the playthrough. In case we do content and like a Kodai drops and I want to split it. So I don't think it's a completely terrible idea. I do think it's probably over my head how much time that would realistically take and how much of that is going to be annoying to do when I'm going to get sick of rune dragons. But I'll do the calculations and I'll maybe come back and talk about that a little bit after stream today. Well, I just did the math. It's 7,460 bones to get to 96, which is the highest possible prayer potion restore value. And that would get me a little bit under... No, it would... Because you have to subtract the 1,000 I already have in the bank. So it would get me very close to 8,000 KC on Rune Dragons, which would probably be my best chance of actually getting the Visage to drop. So this is it's not a reasonable number, but it's reasonable because it's basically doing what I just did like 6.5 more times, and I'm going to need the AFK time. So it's possible I'll do that. If I do, I think the big problem is I'm going to have to start planting Renar seeds again in order to restock on prayer potions, because I think I'm starting to drain my my stash of those a little bit. I wanted to go all the way to 99, and that's 14,000, which is a significantly larger number. Technically 13,000, since I've already done 1,000 of them. But that would make it very likely that I would have gotten a Visage drop by the end of that grind. And it would be nice to be 99 prayer, because, the combat stats are the only stats that I really care about 99s in. There's a handful of other ones that give you some, niche benefits. So that might be on the docket. I might kill 14,000 Rune Dragons. But I'm not committing to it here. I'm just, talking out loud. Alright, back to the AFK. I'm probably going to shut up until I get to 1,200 kills here. Hey, I'm back. It's still the same day, so I can wait till tomorrow to do Corrupted Gauntlet. I am going to go get some more kills here, though. Really close to 1,200 kills. I'm going to keep going to 1,250 just to have a cushion number of bones. And then I think we're going to do some combination of prayer and smithing training. Not smithing training, but, processing these bars, maybe running the blast furnace to turn my ores into bars as well. Oh, jeez. All right, I'm at my 1,250 kill count, but I'm going to stay for the rest of this trip. And then we might do something other than Rune Dragons for a little bit. Probably smithing, blast furnace, and wilderness prayer altar. All right, I think I'm going to start with trying to go through my runite bars, which is going to take a really long time. I actually have no idea how long to expect that to take. But I'm going to head over to the Prif Anvil and see roughly how much time this starts taking here. Might do some alching as well. I think I have a rough sense of how long this is going to take. I'm going to alch all the stuff that's already in my bank that's not these rune swords I'm crafting, just to clear up some bank space here. Oh, I forgot I have an equipable hammer. God. It wouldn't have made a huge difference because it's just one extra inventory slot, but I should definitely start using that while I'm smithing in this way. All right, foot pedal time. Let's alch. Okay, I got my alking done. Well, my initial alking. I still have to make all these runite bars into rune swords and then alk those, which doesn't take a long time. I have a lot of stream work coming up soon that's going to be difficult to do with rune dragons. I will be able to do it, but I'd rather do it with something really AFK like hammering these rune bars. So I'm going to try to do something a little bit more attentive right now. I should start doing herb runs, and I haven't touched farming in like almost a year. So I gotta figure out what the hell my setup is for that. I know it's going to involve pulling the farming cape out of my bank. So I guess one of the things I'll do is do that. But let me do a Ranar and probably Limpwort herb run here, just to see if I can get back in the swing of it. I think I probably have an inventory set up for it. Herb runs. Okay. Oh, and I even have... Way to go, past me. That might be everything I need, actually. Probably don't need the farming outfit since I'm 99 farming and I don't care about post 99 XP, but I guess I could pull it out temporarily while I'm doing this, you know? Right, because I have this bottomless compost bucket, but I don't think that I've filled it. I have to do this with Ranars, Snapdragons, and Toad Flax. I'm going to start with Ranars. 69 Ranar seeds, nice. That should get me pretty far here, I hope. Okay, I did my farming run. I'm going to try to do Wilderness Altar. It is late on a Sunday night, so this is maybe a bad idea. If I get PK'd and lose any bones, I will wait and do this early in the morning sometime. But we'll give it a shot for now. There's 92 prayer, which is a potential stopping point. 2 more points I might go for are 96 and 99. But this has justified my recent bone spending because it's got me up to... I think we recover 30 prayer from a prayer potion now, which is great because that's an easy number to remember. I think I'm probably going to go to bed here soon, which means there'll be a gauntlet attempt in the morning, or 5 gauntlet kills in the morning, I should say. I might see if I want to get to my attentive work yet. I might go straight back to Rune Dragons, to be honest. Goal is 96 with the Chaos Altar. That's 6,276 dragons. So that's like 120 hours, which is a little bit more than the time I spent in Motherlode Mine, but for way more money than we got at Motherlode Mine. So we'll see. I should go do this herb run before I go to bed. Just take advantage of the whole real-time aspect of farm runs. I shall do that. Okay, I want to go back to my original Rune Dragons video and calculate how many potions I used and how many monkfish I used, because it'll help me know how long this is going to last me. I'm okay with using basically all my monkfish on this because I have plenty of other food that I can use. You know, I still have 2,400 dark crabs that I haven't cooked. But I do want to take a little bit of care to not completely deplete all of my food in my bank just in the interest of making money. So I'll do those calculations probably for next time because I have to look at VODs to figure it out. But I'll see you tomorrow. We'll do some more farm runs and gauntlet and maybe some other stuff. We'll see. Bye. Hello and good morning. I'm going to go do some gauntlet stuff. I've got my numbers for Rune Dragons and it's not promising. So I'll share those in a second, but let me do a farming run first. Okay, let me walk you through the numbers here, because this is not a good sign. So we killed 1,250 dragons. It's about 42.8 million gold, or about 34k gold per dragon. Pretty good deal, right? In the process, we used 359 prayer potions, which is significantly more than I thought we were using. I estimated mentally that we were probably going to use like 100 or so, but no, it was 359 out of 642 in the bank. That costs about 3.5 million gold, so, you know, about 3.5 dragons per prayer potion. And, like, that's not that bad in terms of gold, but I can't just buy prayer potions. I need to make them myself. So having to make them, that makes things quite a bit harder.
We also use about 3,433 monkfish. I started with 8,000 monkfish, and I'm down to like 5,000 monkfish. That cost about 1.13 million gold. Again, not significant in terms of GP costs, but definitely significant in terms of time costs. I will not be catching monkfish manually ever again. I might consider going to the Warriors Guild and doing Hopscape to just buy thousands of potatoes with cheese because they heal the same as monkfish. And I could get a stash of like 3,000 of them without too much hassle. Just be a lot of world hopping. It would be very boring. That's probably what I would try to do. We use like 203 extended anti-fire doses and superset doses, so the cost for that is negligible, and the hit to the bank for that is negligible. We can make all those potions pretty trivially, but it means we were killing about 6 dragons per trip ish. So I started this harvesting process with 69 Ranar seeds. A typical Ranar seed yields like 7 prayer potions once you turn all of the weeds into pots after accounting for all the bonuses for harvesting. To get to level 96, I would need to kill 6,276 dragons. So based on all the numbers I just did, that means I need 1,793 prayer potions to kill another 6,000 dragons. It's going to require me to eat 17,000 monkfish, and doing that would produce about 214 million gold, which would not only pay off all of my bond debts, but it would also leave us with about 100 million gold left over, a little bit more than that, to help with splits in the future. So it definitely won't be doing 99 prayer. I think 99 prayer is a waste of time. 96 kind of makes sense because it gets us that much closer to... it gets us an extra prayer point recovery on per potion usage, which is significant. It adds up, especially when you're doing content like the Inferno, where most of your inventory is super restores, and each individual potion gets 1 extra point of prayer recovery. So I would like to do 96, but I have to contend with the fact that this isn't just an enormous time sink. I think 6,200 dragons would probably take me close to 100 hours. It's also a supply sink that I cannot do, because I said it would cost me 1793 prayer potions. I have 283. And even once I use all of these Ranar seeds, it's still not going to be enough. I'm probably going to end up making like 500 prayer potions, and I do not want to end this grind with no prayer potions. So we have to think about alternatives here. I could grind bones from somewhere else. I could keep doing Slayer. I probably am going to get a decent chunk of prayer XP from the Hydra bones from doing this Hydra task that I have. But I would like to stay at Rune Dragons because killing another 6,000 Rune Dragons means getting close to the drop rate for the Visage, which would be a really nice upgrade for the account. If we get the Visage early, it will probably significantly reduce food usage there because it's a huge defensive upgrade at Rune Dragons. There are definitely other options I could do to farm prayer more sustainably, but Rune Dragons just seem so beneficial for the overall health of the account in terms of like money income that it's something that I probably still want to try to do. So what it's probably going to come down to, I kind of hit 93 thieving accidentally in the effort of trying to bank a whole bunch of crystal shards. And apparently 94 thieving is when you can no longer fail to pickpocket master farmers. And I've never done pickpocketing without a chance to get stunned. And I've done a lot of master farmers on this account, but it would probably be a lot more tolerable if I never get stunned. I am interested in trying that. Short term, obviously, we're going to do a gauntlet run here. I might go back to pickpocketing elves to try to finish grinding out 94 thieving. And then once we hit 94, I might want to try master farmers for a bit because I'm curious to see how fast they are, how many Ranar seeds we pull in on average, how long it takes to get Ranar seeds. Because I could potentially I could set a goal and say this is exactly the number of Ranar seeds I need in order to make all of the prayer potions needed to do this Rune Dragon farm and still end up positive on prayer potions afterward. So if I can do that calculation of like how many hours of master farm or pickpocketing that's going to take. I would like to get 99 farming on this account just so that we have kind of an infinite source of money via elf pickpocketing, an infinite source of crystal shards via elf pickpocketing. So I wouldn't feel bad sitting there for a long time. But I'm going to do those calculations later. For now, though, let's go ahead and pop into the Corrupted Gauntlet. Let's get this thing going here. Another elite clue. I think I'm way over drop rate on these. I'll go do this real quick. Never gotten this clue step before. Castle Wars bracelet? Please tell me that doesn't require me having to do Castle Wars. It's just a emerald bracelet with level 2 enchant on it. Okay. That's... wow. Just teleports, okay. There's our 5kc for the day. Still no drops, not a single armor seed. Alright, I got a farming run to do, and then I might take a break and think about what I'm doing after that. Alright, so I'd like to try to get to 94 thieving and try to get as many Ranar seeds as possible. I don't know if 93 thieving is acceptable compared to 94 in terms of like XP per hour it's going to give, especially since I have like a very small % chance to get caught. So I'm going to try a little bit of Master Farmers to see how it goes at 93, and then I might switch back over to Elf, because I need to do more Elf pickpocketing anyway. I do have enough shards now to immediately corrupt the bow whenever we get it, but I'll need more shards to be able to make the bow and to make the armor and that kind of a thing. So my target's probably more like 3,000, maybe 3,500 shards. Well, that's an auspicious start. Immediately got stunned on my first pickpocket there. There's 2 Ranar seeds like immediately. That's quite lucky. Alright, trapped foot pedal time. Looking this up, and there's apparently a better farmer in the northern part of the guild, the level 85 section, that you can trap and reset its timer. So I'm going to try to figure out how that works here soon. Alright, I'm doing some more math over here. It remains to be seen whether the wiki's numbers are going to hold out, but they suggest that you get about 20 Ranar seeds per hour when you're doing Master Farmers and you can't get stunned. And I effectively can't get stunned. Of course, it happens while I'm talking, but it's like a 0.7% chance or something ridiculous. So if I assume 20 seeds per hour produces 140 prayer pots per hour, that means I have to spend 13 hours at Master Farmers, which would end up being about 1.3 million XP, which would get me to 95 thieving, which I feel like if I'm going to do this Master Farmer thing anyway, I should do it when I'm lower level, because higher levels matter at elves, and they don't matter here at Master Farmers. This might be my new thing to do for a while. Count how many seeds I have to bank in order for this to make sense. If I can trap this guy, apparently you want to trap him in these 2 tiles down here. That way you can move up a single tile when his timer's about to run out. I've always wondered what the timer's all about. I mean, it tells me when he's going to despawn, but it hasn't really been helpful because there's nowhere you can manipulate that. But I guess these tiles are where you can manipulate it. Anyway, you might see a lot of ultra fast-forwarded Master Farmers for a while here. The objective, just to cover it again here, is I would like to have enough Ranar seeds in the bank to make enough prayer potions to cover the prayer I would inevitably have to use in order to get 6,000 Rune Dragon kills, which is going to take like 100 hours by itself. So lots of prep going on here, but I think it's ultimately going to make sense. It's going to pay all of our debts. It's going to be relatively AFK through the whole process. I am going to try to start doing herb runs every time they come off the alarm now while I'm playing this way. So currently RuneLite HD just launched, which I'm not super interested in, but I'll install it for a second here just for fun while I'm pickpocketing this farmer forever. That's okay looking. I think I still prefer it without this shit on, but yeah, I think I actively prefer the non-HD graphics, to be honest. I know that's probably going to get me in trouble with people who are really excited for this, but I'm back. So that was, you probably heard a weird vocalization from me. I grew up in a hoarder house, like
one of my parents was a hoarder, and it was really unsanitary and disgusting. We often had pests, namely mice and rats. And so I am terrified of mice and rats. Like, not like a fancy mouse or rat. If someone has one as a pet, that wouldn't bother me. But like a wild mouse or rat getting into my house, just, I'm like a Tom and Jerry cartoon. I jump up on a chair and I almost have a heart attack. So anyway, I'm sitting over here pickpocketing, and my cat dashes. My cat's an indoor cat, so he doesn't really hunt anything. But he dashes in hunting mode towards my stream PC and starts pawing at the bottom of it. So I think he's like going after like a bug, like a spider or something. So I lift up the PC to see what it is, and I see this like wriggling gray tail. That was probably the sound you heard me make of the oh no. And so I like jumped up on my chair like a Tom and Jerry cartoon. And then I eventually see Ben proudly like trot off with it in his mouth, and I track him down, and it was like a lizard. They've got these little New Mexico lizards out here. So I'm not going to die. I'm not going to burn the house down. Everything's fine. But holy shit, that was scary for me. Back to pickpocketing. Alright, I gotta step out to prep for stream, but doing pretty good already on Ranar seeds. We're up to 58? Yeah. And I need 260, I think was my math, right? 260 seeds. I might push it to 300 or so. Once I have the prayer potions established, I'm gonna have to do something about the monkfish. It might end up being potatoes with cheese and just doing awful, miserable hopscape. But I'm gonna sign off with my farming equipment on, because I'm sure I'll come back and immediately do a farm run. I'll see ya. Hey, I'm back. It's still the same day, so no gauntlet yet. But I'm gonna do farm runs and pickpocketing master farmers for a while. Alright, here's 94 thieving, and now we cannot be stunned. Already effectively could not be stunned, but can't be stunned at all now, which is awesome. Perfect timing too, because my herb patches just became available like a minute ago. So I'm gonna go knock those out, and then I'm gonna go to bed. I'd like to keep doing this. I need to get to 260 Ranar seeds, and I think we're more than halfway there now. Let me check. We have 134, basically just from today. I did do an enormous amount of Master Farmer pickpocketing today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to match it tomorrow. Get this done, turn all these into Ranar herbs, turn them all into prayer potions, and then I need to solve my food problem. It might be going to the Warriors Guild and doing hopscape for several hours to get potatoes with cheese, which just, it sounds like a nightmare, but I'll do it if I gotta, you know? Okay, it's bedtime for me. 5 corrupted gauntlet kills in the morning, and other things. Probably more pickpocketing. I had to get these prayer potions squared away. I am moving through the Ranar seeds that I'm pickpocketing reasonably quickly. I do about 9 an hour, I think. Probably end up continuing to do farm runs while I'm doing hopscape for cheese potatoes, I guess. We'll have to figure out what the best option is there. But I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Alright, it's a new day. Farm run and corrupted gauntlet. Let's go. Whoops, I accidentally made a tier 3 helmet and tier 1 body and pants, so this might go really badly. I'm gonna give it a shot. Whew! I did it despite screwing up the armor. It's a little close on food, but I didn't like stand on any tiles or crystal armor seed. Okay. I got really excited because I didn't recognize the shape of that thing. But that's still exciting. We need 6 of those, and I finally have one at kill count 106. So, all right, let's get it back to back here. Finally, in that stage of like having completely given up on ever getting a drop. I think that's the place you want to be, so that a drop is a complete surprise. All right, we get the back-to-back. No. Okay, at least I got one thing. All right, that's my last kill. Almost got. I had all 4 tornadoes hit me, which I think is the first time that's ever happened. But I was close to full health, so took it okay. No drops. Oh, hey, my farming patches finished exactly on time. Beautiful. Excited about having an armor seed. I still need to get 5 more, so I'm not crazy excited because I'm way under drop rate on it, but. Alright, farming run's done. My kill for the day is done. It's time to sit at Master Farmers for many hours. Talk to you if something interesting happens. I feel like this really justifies my purchase of that foot pedal. Like, I would not be doing this without a foot pedal, because my hands are free to do stream work and stuff. Just playing Staying Alive in the background and tapping my foot to the beat. Changing my strategy for what I have in the seed box, because I kind of want to see my herb drops. I previously had snapegrass, shitty herb drops, and toad flax in there. Instead, I just moved all of the most common pickpockets, and so I'm keeping those in my inventory anyway, since it's annoying to have to drop them constantly. Those are in the seed box. Now you should be able to see the toad flax and snapegrass. I accidentally screwed up and let the master farmer out of his corner, and it's a huge pain when you do that. I saw a post saying that HD looks better. Well, it's saying it looks... I didn't like the textures. I think that was my least favorite part about it. So I'm going to try turning it on with the textures disabled. Just the lighting and stuff. Still feels unnecessary. It does look better without the textures. I'll leave this on for a bit. I actually think I like this quite a bit better with the textures turned off. Because I think the textures are just... They're icky to me. We'll see if this affects my performance later. If this causes any kind of frame rate hiccups, I'm going to turn this off. But I think having HD on with low detail plugin at the same time, I like that. Because I think... And all the textures disabled. Because I don't like the HD textures. And I honestly, even in the main game, don't really like the little blades of grass and rubble that low detail disables. They look fine. You know, there's certain areas that look better with it on. But I think that this HD look just looks significantly more clean because all those little blades of grass get shadow effects and stuff, and it looks busy. So I might stick with this. I'll stop the instant it affects my performance. If I'm ever doing content and my frame rate goes down by even a little bit, I'll turn it off. But right now, I think it looks kind of nice. I screwed up the trap for the Master Farmer. It feels like it was like 30 minutes ago. I don't think it was that long. He's just not walked back over there. It's pretty brutal. I wonder if it's ever worth just hopping to find a world where he's already trapped. Probably not. Alright, I gotta bounce to prep for stream. We're getting there, though. 188, I need 260. I'm gonna make it 261 because I lost a Renar seed to disease. So that's another 73. Which, how many did I do this morning? Just this morning? Let me look at current session data. Okay, so I didn't quite do 73 this morning, but I can probably do that in a combination of tonight and tomorrow morning after the Corrupted Gauntlet. That's probably going to take me to 95 thieving. I guess if I happen to get the Ranars first, I'll keep going to 95. That'll be nice for elves later. And I'm going to do everything I can to plant all of those, turn all those Ranars into prayer potions, and the next big project is probably going to be shoring up the food supply to make sure that I have enough food to do rune dragons. I was considering just trying it with sharks and dark crabs and trying to set like a floor on those. Because these heal significantly more, right? Sea turtles too, because it'd be nice to burn through some of those. Dark crab heals for 6 more health than a monkfish. It's worth more money, but I'm not going to be selling them or anything. So it might let me stay a little bit longer. Potentially use fewer of them and kill the dragons faster since I'm not tied up with eating as much. But I'll think more on that. I don't know if I want to waste dark crabs on something like this. It would just be out of laziness of not wanting to go to the Warriors Guild and hopscape for like 4 hours to get 16,000 potatoes. But in any case, I'll think of something and get back to you. See you around. Bye. Hey, I'm back. It's the same day. No corrupted gauntlet yet. I'm gonna go do this farming run and get back to pickpocketing. I let this farmer get out of his safe spot while I was trying to make my dinner. And now I'm just like trying desperately to reclaim, get him back in there while I'm eating or while I'm preparing my food. I gotta be careful. It seems like if I like bump my mouse, I can really screw myself over. 95 thieving. That's very exciting. I don't quite have the total number of Ranars that I wanted. I wanted 260, maybe 262. So I'm going to stay here for a little bit longer for 2 or 3 more steals. But that's pretty cool. 2 levels at Master Farmers. Master Farmers are a completely different experience when you cannot be stunned, when you can trap them like this. All right, I've got my exact number of seeds that I wanted to go for. 262. It's actually 2 more than I had originally gone for. But I lost one, and my spell to revive it didn't work. So if my math is correct, that should be exactly enough prayer potions to get us through 6,000 rune dragons to get to 96 prayer. And hopefully get a shitload of money and have a pretty decent chance of getting the Dragonfire Shield, since or the Visage Drop, I should say, since that'll be getting us to about close to a total of 8,000 kills. It's still not guaranteed, but it could happen. Now I need food. I need 16,000 monkfish or their equivalent, and I haven't decided yet how I'm going to go about doing that. I might try cheese potatoes and see how miserable hopping for cheese potatoes is. This is less miserable because it's generating experience points, but hopscape for items doesn't generate any XP. Just the problem is if I were to like try to fish for the food that I need. First of all, I don't give a shit about fishing XP, but much worse, it would take many hours. I think I calculated hopscape would take me like 4, maybe 5 hours to get the potatoes. If I fished for like Rambwans, for example, I think getting 16,000 would take 30 hours, which I don't want to do. So, short version is that it's bedtime for me. So, I'm going to go to sleep. And tomorrow we'll do Corrupted Gauntlet and something that's not pickpocketing a Master Farmer, I think. Which is too bad. Like, I'll go do Elves, but this is so much more chill than Elves. Elves are not chill at all. But I also think I just got so many herb seeds. Yeah, this is honestly kind of comical. I have so many herb seeds that I should be set for a really long time. You know, I'm actually kind of excited to do the Snapdragons and the Torch Souls because I'm running low on that stuff anyway. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, I guess before I bounce, here's the final totals. This kill count is incorrect. I didn't realize this, but when you use a seed box, it breaks the loot tracker. It breaks this loot tracker too. Basically, anytime you steal something from a master farmer and it goes directly into the seed box, it doesn't log it. So, unfortunately, I started by using the seed box to get Woms, Marantils, Terramins, like shitty herb seeds, and Snapegrass seeds. I think I also use it to get Toadflax, which is a bummer because that is actually a valuable seed that I wanted. I should see how many Toadflax I ended up with. And then I switched the seed box to having the like most common steals so that they wouldn't take up space in my inventory. 556 Toadflax seed. I'm very tempted to make all of those, every single one of them. I should probably start doing birdhouse runs again. Maybe I'll leave a note to myself in the morning when I do my farming run to start doing birdhouse runs at the same time, because I think I have enough magic logs to sustain that indefinitely. I don't need the Hunter XP particularly, but I would very much like the bird nest because I don't know if I want to do a lot of giant mole. This is potentially a comical amount of Ceradomin brews and a comical amount of Herblore XP. Probably would take me a really long time to finish planting and harvesting all of them, but that is a kind of an unexpected bonus from all of that pickpocketing because a lot of that came from this effort right now. And snapdragons are hard to get through anything other than farming, so. Hey, good morning. It is a new day, which means I need to do more Corrupted Gauntlet. However, I have an appointment in like less than an hour, so I don't want to start doing attempts and then have to stop for the appointment. So I'm just going to do a farming run real quick. And then maybe I'll do something AFK that I can do during the appointment. I might just stop the recording. So anyway, doing that. I'm going to try to do smithing runite bars into swords. That'll be a good use of my time. Should be able to do that during my appointment without too much pain. All right, I'm back from my appointment. I finished making all of my runite bars into swords. I'm probably going to alch those once I have a big AFK need, like working on editing a video. The group Iron Man poll is available. I'm going to vote on it. I don't know why they're polling this. Just fucking do it. I wish they separated those into more specific questions, because the group Iron Man proposal has like 6 or 7 ideas in it, and I like almost all of them. I guess we'll see where this ends. By the time you watch this video, Group Iron will have been out or have been controversially failed to poll for months. Or years, more likely. Like, it seems like a really hardcore group of players made a big stink on Reddit about the idea that Group Irons could, like, play with people outside their group in content that's already designed to work that way, and that they should lose some status or respect if they do that. And it's completely baffling to me, because it's like, I thought the whole point of Group Iron Man is that it's a less restrictive version of regular Iron Man. And regular Iron Man, you can freely play with other players. I guess the argument is it's a little badge next to your name and who cares, but it's bizarre that it was taken seriously by anybody, to be honest. It would have made more sense if maybe it was a 5-man group only thing, because I think that's probably what chafes with me, that, like, you know, if you have a 2-man group Iron, you're not going to be running Theater of Blood with 2 people. It's just not mathematically possible, or it's possible, but you're not going to be able to farm it like a normal person, right? So it's frustrating that the smaller groups are going to get shortchanged in that. It's likely I'm going to make a group Iron. I don't know yet whether I'm going to record any of it. I might try to actively avoid recording it, because it's too much right now to be recording all this shit. But maybe I'll sign into it occasionally during this playthrough. I'll pause the live split timer to kind of show you how things are coming. I'm kind of in a muscle memory groove right now with smithing mithril and adamant plate bodies. I do need to do my gauntlet runs, but I think I'm going to wait until... Oh, my farming... So I was going to wait till my farm patches are ready, but they're ready now. So I will go do those, and then I guess we'll do Corrupted Gauntlet. My desk set up. Need to have a dedicated keyboard for this. Usually I am sharing a keyboard across multiple machines. I actually did have some lag last kill. I'm not super married to the HD look anyway. We'll see. I guess maybe if it gets updated a bunch, then maybe I'll turn it back on later, but I'm okay to just turn it off for now. Alright, there's my 5kc for the day. Let's see what we get. Probably nothing. And it's nothing. Alright, I kind of like this foot pedal thing that I've been doing, so I might start foot pedal alching all of those things I just made. Make some bank space. Do have a farming run to do, so I'm going to do that first, obviously. Okay, farming run's done. I'm going to stand and alch, which kind of sucks because I'm not getting magic XP anymore, but I like the money. Technically, I can sell this stuff to the Grand Exchange. I think I end up making a bit of a profit compared to selling it on the Grand Exchange while alching. I mean, I'm spending time, which, of course, is precious, but partially because of the Bryophytus staff, but also because of, I think that there's like a profit margin for buying stuff from the Grand Exchange to alch it, because it takes time to do and is annoying. So anyway, I am probably going to mute. This should get massive fast forward, I hope. See ya. Got a farming run to do real quick. This is actually going by much faster than I was expecting. Cash stack's looking nice, 57 million gold. Right, and I'm going to finally do a birdhouse run this time, because I left a note to myself to do that today, and then just, I totally didn't, for reasons. Alright, so we need hammer, chisel, 4 magic logs, and barley seeds. All right, finished alking all that, up to 63 million. That was much faster than I was anticipating. I do have to prep for stream though, so I'm probably going to do that. I think when I come back, we'll continue to do farming runs and probably blast furnace. I like to at least turn all of this runite ore into runite bars, possibly also the adamantite. I'm not going to bother with the gold because I don't really need levels or anything like that. But talk to you then. Bye. Good morning. And by good morning, I mean good evening. It's the same day. I'm not doing Corrupted Gauntlet. I'm just used to saying good morning when I hit start recording. Fuck. I'm not trying to get out of Corrupted Gauntlet. Today is 9/15/21. It's the evening from what I was just doing with alking and shit. Anyway, I'm going to go do birdhouses, farming run, and all that fun stuff. All right, I made all of the mithril plate bodies that I could make. Ends up being worth about 1.4 million. Ooh. So I don't really consider how much less valuable these are than those rune swords. I think I'm going to head over to Blast Furnace. I can definitely do all of my runite ore. That's going to take less than an hour. Adamant ore is going to take a couple hours, so we'll see if I have the stamina to stay there. I don't care about smithing XP at all. It would be nice to hit 90 so we don't have to boost for some of the stuff that requires 90 smithing, but this is basically a dead skill, and presumably going to be a dead skill indefinitely. So I don't have the motivation that usually comes with experience points like I was getting from thieving earlier, since I care about getting 99 thieving. But we'll see. More money is good. It's a lot of adamant ore that we can turn into money. Because the hope is that all darts from now on will be adamants, or amethyst, so I don't have to redirect these ores into darts anymore. I can just turn them into cash. Let's go to Blast Furnace. All right, I've decided I'm not going to do the adamant ore right now. It's not feeling it. I'm going to go ahead and craft these runite bars into runite swords. Maybe I won't do that because I want to save that for when I have work to do, because that's super AFK, as is the alking with a foot pedal. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Let me teleport out of here and go stand at a bank and think about my life for a second. Okay, I think I'm gonna see what buying potatoes with cheese looks like. If it's a horror show, then I will stop doing it. But I'm curious to see how awful it is. Opscape continues to be the worst. Someone else is doing this. Which, if someone else is doing this, is absolutely not tenable at all. It's already going to be like 4 hours, assuming I don't have to compete ever. Might just have to do the lazy method of just taking my other food and seeing how long I can stretch it. It might give me the impetus to finish cooking. Like, I could probably eat all my tuna and all my swordfish and all my turtles and all my bass and all this other shitty food and my lobsters that I never use. Like, I could use it as a bank cleaning exercise, I guess. So I'm sitting here dumbfounded. I'm out of ideas of stuff to do at the moment. I probably need to, like, sleep on this. I have been going to bed pretty late, so maybe it would be nice to crash a little early tonight. Maybe I'll get up early, check the potatoes with cheese again. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. I'll see you tomorrow. Do some Corrupted Gauntlet. Bye.
Hey, good morning, folks. I went to bed super early last night, so I'm up super early to see if the potato with cheese situation is different in the early hours. I'm going to go do farming run, and then we'll see how potatoes are. It's a new day, so I have to do Corrupted Gauntlet, but I'm going to wait to do that until it's later in the day this time. Farming run complete. Let's go see what the Warriors Guild is like. I think my tolerance while hopping is that if like 1 in every 10 shops is out of stock, that would be acceptable, but if it's significantly more than that, then I'll have to find another solution.
Off to a bad start. I guess there's some concern that bots might be abusing this. This isn't just like, obviously, I don't have a Iron Man inventory. That's frustrating too, because like the profit margin for a bot is so small. It's like GE for 200 gold. It's all from the shop for a couple gold. I think I'm actually going to start buying stews at the same time because I have to come here to Hopscape for stews also. And I think that time waiting to hop is the bigger cost here. Looks like there's a shop in Port Piscarius that sells sharks relatively cheaply. That one's probably botted to hell if this thing's getting botted, so it's fully in stock. Distance from a bank is a problem. I guess they're raw sharks. I didn't think about that part. Something I might be able to do would be to use the Warriors Guild and do it in batches of 1,000 potatoes with cheese at a time. Be less miserable for me. And I guess it would also help with the whole restock time problem, because eventually I'm going to loop around and they're going to run out of stock, and that's going to suck. Like if I do 1,000 potatoes and then do Rune Dragon until I use up all my potatoes, and then do another 1,000 and then do another set of Rune Dragons and so on. I think that that's possibly the way to go. So I'm sitting here while I'm doing this Hopscape thing, and I'm trying to like think of other ways I could do this. Karambwans seem pretty good, not only because they heal quite a bit more than these potatoes with cheese. By quite a bit more, I mean 2 more. But they have a lower tick delay before you can start attacking again, which, given the number of times I have to eat, probably adds up a lot over multiple kills, because if the dragons die sooner, they do less damage, so I eat less food. Fishing for Karambwans isn't... I don't want to do that. It would take like 20 hours leveling a skill that I don't care about anymore. But I guess it's not terrible to buy Karambwans in Shiloh Village and then bank them using trading sticks. And so, okay, well, how do I get trading sticks? Apparently I can like mass sell jades. I still have a shitload of jades that I have basically no use for. I don't think there's any jade jewelry that I even care a little bit about. Let me confirm that here before I commit to anything. But the point of it though is that I might want to go check that out as well this morning. I might do that after this farm run triggers, or once I get to 1,000 banked potatoes with cheese. Because potatoes with cheese, this is working, but even if I alternate it after I run out of them at Rune Dragons, it's still kind of alarming, because this took me like, is this an hour? I've been at this for like 40 minutes. Yeah. And I don't even have 1,000 yet. So if it ends up taking me 16 hours to Hopscape it, I may as well go do the 20 plus hours or whatever at Karambwans and actually get some XP out of it, and a slightly better food. So we'll keep trying different things. I need a shitload of food, preferably in as little time as possible, and I don't think potatoes with cheese are going to cut it. Sorry, I'm up to 1,000 potatoes with cheese, which is what I set out to do. I'm going to go see how awful trading sticks are, because I have no idea. So this trading sticks method is not great, because the distance you have to walk is pretty long. You probably have to bring stamina potions for it. You have to do multiple trips anyway in order to restock your supply of trading sticks. This NPC's stock of Karambwans is really nice. That's goes without saying, but there's no one else competing for this, too. I'm going to have to cook all of them, which is going to take a really long time, but I have a few other things that I can try, though. I have a shitload of Taibo and I teleport scrolls in my bank that I will never use. I have no other conceivable use for them. So if I just burn through all of those and buy as many of these as I can, maybe that's a smart way to do things. I don't know. Doing this with the scroll book's pretty decent. I think I'm going to get, if I did my math correctly, I'm going to get like 2,500 raw Karambwans, which doesn't cover everything we need, right? Probably still need like 12,000 of these. But this shop never seems to run out. I can bank really fast. I have no other use for these teleport scrolls, so this will also cover a significant number of trips, I think, and it will inform me as to how good Karambwans are at Rune Dragons. I might try to experiment with a couple things, like going there just with Karambwans as my only food, going there with Karambwans plus monkfish to like combo eat. So this is actually pretty effective with the Enchanted Lyre. It's unfortunate that I don't have access to an unlimited number of these Taibo and I teleport scrolls, because I could do this to get to 16,000 Karambwans, no problem. It's always stocked. It's pretty fast to get back because of the teleport. Glad I picked up this Lyre. I keep forgetting that I think it's technically the closest teleport to a bank. I don't know if having the prompt where you have to select Nate's not and the little music animation gets in the way, but it's good for this task at least. This might actually be a better idea than I was considering, because although I have to cook everything, apparently there's a way to tick cook Karambwans that I didn't know about, so I might try that. Once I run out of teleport scrolls here. This is only going to leave me with 2,500 of these. And actually, I've just been struck with a concern that I don't actually have any Karambwans in my bank anyway. I've used combo food in like the Corrupted Gauntlet. I used a lot of it during the Trailblazer League because with the relic that I had, Karambwan fishing was like infinite AFK without moving because everything got banked instantly. So I'm familiar with how being able to combo eat works, and I'm familiar with content where that's super relevant. I guess what I'm saying is now I want to like keep these rather than use them at Rune Dragons, especially since I can only get a finite number of them from this, since I'm going to run out of teleport scrolls. If I can find out some other kind of like teleporting or banking option, I'll keep trying to research it to see what makes the most sense. But I guess even after this Rune Dragon project is done, I might want to come back here and get like 1,000 of these just to have in the bank for content where it might matter. All right, I am up to 1,000 Karambwans, and I would like to take a break. I'd also like to see how fast cooking is with this one-tick method, so I'm going to give that a shot real quick. I can get a really nice angle here. Nice. Oh yeah, this is fast. Nice. I should have done that when I was trading cooking. This makes the cooking speed almost irrelevant. Like, the fact that I have to cook them after buying them basically doesn't matter. So maybe I am going to have to do this with trading sticks. Oof. Not looking forward to that, but I'll do it if I have to. That was amazing and extremely fast. I wish I knew about one-tick Karambwan cooking sooner, because extremely easy to do. So this will be nice. I'll get to experiment with this. I'll probably use 500 of them by themselves, and then 500 combined with the potatoes with cheese. This will get me through, like, I think the combination of these two will get me through like 500 Rune Dragon kills. While I'm in here, I'm going to quickly cook some other foods that I'm behind on. I can technically burn these if I don't have the cooking cape. I'm going to try to just keep cooking here until my farming run triggers, and I'll go run that, and then immediately we'll do our Corrupted Gauntlet finally for the day. Regular cooking feels so slow compared to one-tick Karambwans. Wow. Alright, I'm finally doing my duty for the day and getting my 5 Corrupted Gauntlet KC in. Let's do this. I had to bail on that one. I was trying to go for the Tier 3 armor achievement, and it's not worth it. I might do it if I already have everything else built, but I think trying to actively go for it is just going to be a waste of time. Finished my 5 kills for today, still no loot. Let me do a farming run. I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, I did it fast enough that I don't have time for a farming run yet, or it's not ready yet. I guess I'll do one more kill. Why not? Well, I'm going to die here just because I don't have I wasn't able to pick up my food. I was trying to go for tier 3 armor again, which was a mistake. Womp womp. It's fine. I got really close to getting it before, but I was like one item short from each category of item, and if I had just picked up one more, it would have been fine. That's unfortunate. All right, I think I'm going to go do herb lore. I'm not going to do the Ranars yet. I'd like to wait until I'm done with all of the Ranar seeds. But I would like to... Most of these Quarms, I'm a little bit short on Limport roots, but I should get the rest of them by the time we finish planting all these Ranar seeds. Try to just clear out some secondaries, that kind of a thing. So I'm heading out to Narda, and this will all get fast-forwarded. Okay, I think I'm going to step away and take a short break. Come back, I'm probably going to do Rune Dragons with my current setup. Well, finally died at Rune Dragons. That sucks. That's like 300k cost. I managed to avoid it all this time. I actually don't know what happened. I was paying pretty attentively. I think I got hit by a bunch of electric bolts and then got hit by a melee attack at the same time. Alright, I'm opening up this elite casket, and then I'm going to step away. I just got a delivery in the mail that I got to work on here. That is really bad. Yeah, we did about 100 dragons today, so that's pretty good. I'll probably do some more this evening. I think my plan is to do 1,000 Karambwans worth of dragons at a time. It'll help me to mentally break it up a little bit, because otherwise it's kind of an insurmountable task to come at. So that'll be the plan. See you around. Bye. Hey folks, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to play for very long here. I just got an upgrade to my machine, and I'm still doing some testing, but this isn't going to be part of the testing, is doing this quick recording. So I'm just going to do a farm run, and then something else.
Hey, it is a new day, so I do need to go do Corrupted Gauntlet. However, I got a ton of chores I have to do this morning, so those are more important than RuneScape. So I'm going to do a farming run, and I might log in every hour or so to do a farming run, but I'll make sure that I get my 5kc in before the day is over. I go plant this Celastrus tree, deposit these trees, and see what's going on with my farming contract here. Alright, actually before I sign off, I'm going to run over to Miscellanea really quick, because I got to top off my coffer and all that fun stuff, so... Okie dokie, I'll be back. I'm probably going to do several farming runs and no other content today until I finish all my chores, and then I'll knock out the Corrupted Gauntlet clears. See ya. Hey, I'm back. I'm going to do another farm run. I'm actually almost done with my chores, so I might be able to keep playing not too long after this one, but I'm just going to knock this out real quick. So my seeds died. Alright, I finished all my chores. Let's get these 5kc out of the way. Had to leave again. I'm really trying to get this make level 3 armor achievement, and I keep getting close, but then I get screwed in RNG at the last second. So it's like I have to commit too far into it for it to be knowable whether I'm going to succeed or not. Like there, it looked like I was about to get it, and I just couldn't find a demi-boss. Well, there's my 5kc for the day. We're up to 125. Nothing, as usual. Do farming run. Probably going to take a break and then maybe do some Rune Dragons. Alright, I just finally planted my last Ranar seed. Instead of going to Rune Dragons, I might actually start cleaning the grimy Ranars. I think I should hold out, because I'd like to get a Grand Exchange price check on all of the grimy Ranars, so I'll hold out until I have that. But then probably the rest of today is going to be cleaning and making potions. Okay, all Ranars have been harvested. It is done. It's a long project, but we finished it. Let's see what we got in the bank, and I gotta leave the prep for stream, so
actually making the prayer potions doesn't have to wait for another time here. 3,307 ranars. That is 24.6 million GP worth. It's mostly the seeds from 93 to 95 thieving at Master Farmers. All right, well, I just have to clean all of those, which is probably going to take a couple hours. And then make them all into potion, which is going to take a while. I think that's going to end up being so almost 2,500 prayer potions, which is more than I needed. So we're actually ahead on the average rate. So that's quite exciting. Okay, I got to leave the prep for stream. I'll catch you around. Bye. Hey folks, it's a new day, so I've got some corrupted gauntlet to do. First, I'm going to do a farming run. I'm done with my ranars, so I'm not super invested in doing my snapdragons and toad flax, but I'm going to try to do them. I might run out of interest in doing farming runs after a bit. And then before I do corrupted gauntlet, I'm probably going to clean some ranars because I got to do some AFK stuff first thing this morning, but I'll get to it. I really wish they made the cleaning grimy herbs spell not give less XP. I get it, but like at the same time, it costs a resource. You have to use runes. Like that's enough over the XP. Oh well, here we go. Cleaning time. A difference of like 11k XP, I guess, but every experience point matters for me right now, unfortunately. It's 2 nature runes and 4 earth runes. The nature rune cost is quite high, given that it doesn't give you full XP. Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna use this spell. 3,000 herbs is a lot. Actually, I don't think the spell is that much faster. It's got a really long animation. Alright, never mind. As a roller coaster. Gonna use a spell, gonna not use a spell. Yeah, it's like... I guess if you're really slow at clicking, it's way faster. I was thinking it was gonna be instant. But the animation is about as long as it takes me to do half an inventory, so I may as well save a couple hundred nature runes here. Alright, I finished cleaning all the ranars. That took a little bit less than an hour. That wasn't so bad. Let's go make them into unfinished potions and start mixing. I need more water yet? Soon. Not yet, though. Might have to stop and make some more amulets of chemistry here soon. I made a RuneLite request forever ago, and it apparently got added. Basically, I wanted the text that shows up in Windows notification pop-ups to show up in the chat log. I didn't notice that this actually got added. I popped into the RuneLite Discord to ask if it was possible, and it's apparently been possible for a while. So I turned it on. That would have helped if you were watching the stream and seeing notification flashes and know what the hell was getting triggered. Now we know. I just got a farming run. That's what this thing is about, so I'm going to go do that. I'm going to come back to making prayer potions. Yeah, having this text pop up that says crystal impling in the area, God, I wish I had this turned on like months ago, but oh well. So the big advantage of finally hitting 94 herblore soon here is that I'm going to be able to make extended super anti-fires, but I was an idiot and I used up all of my lava scale shards, and I do not want to do infernal eels. So I might change up a little bit of my rune dragon training by giving lava dragons a try. I need to review what I want to bring out to lava dragons. I'm not sure what the most efficient thing to do for that is. But I think I'm going to try it this morning before Corrupted Gauntlet, before Rune Dragons, because it's still really early in the morning, and I probably have the best chance that I'm not going to get harassed by PKers, so I'll give it a stab. I do have the Wilderness Elite Diary, so bones will be noted, which is cool. We'll see how it goes. Alright, that is all the potions. I'm going to go ahead and decant them and get a price check on final decanted prayer potions compared to what was in the bank before. I have a little note showing me how many I had in the bank previously. A little over 2,500 prayer potions. That's pretty awesome. 2529 prayer potions from getting 2 levels at Master Farmers. Nice. 25 million gold. Alright, I guess for these dragons, I'm going to try just doing the Dragon Hunter Lance, And by Rune Dragon, Lava Dragons. Dragon Hunter Lance for sure. I'm trying to think what the next most effective item to bring is. Maybe Bandos? And the rest of it's probably just going to be Diary Gear. I don't want to risk something on... I guess I can bring the Anti-Dragon Shield. No one cares about that. Exactly the wrong set of gear to bring, but I guess we'll find out. I have honestly no idea. Just confirm that I'm not really risking anything here. I'll explain. Can save the glory if I protect item, I guess. He actually recommended to safe spot these, but I'm curious how defensive I can be with the Dragon Hunter Lance. We'll see. I just don't know how an anti-fire potion works with these creatures. Let me look that up. Yeah, it looks like melee is not the way to go here, so... I'll get a few more kills, but I'm probably gonna come back with magic. Did not realize Vedion could see me from down there. Yikes. Okay. Yeah, let's switch to magic. This ain't working. Alright, we'll try this gear setup. Bring a prayer potion, or a stamina potion. And a couple prayer potions. I guess we can grind up the lava skill shards while we're there, so bring the pestle and mortar. Oh, the Barrow's gloves are worth more than the Trident of the Seas, so I would lose the Trident of the Seas if I don't have protect item. I can't do that. That's funny, though. Trident of the Seas is a pain for me to get, but easy for a non-trade restricted account to get. Suit Karandra gloves, that's fine. Yeah, this is significantly better than the Dragon Hunter Lance. Cool. To find the right spot to safe spot him, though, I have no idea where that is. This feels pretty sustainable. I gotta figure out the right safe spot, play around with it a little bit more, but I should be able to do this. I don't want to do this instead of Rune Dragons for lots of reasons. I still probably want to do around 6,000 Rune Dragon kills, but just going to see if I can build up my supply of lava skill shards. So I'd like to see if bringing extended super anti-fires to lava dragons makes a significant difference. If it does, and the Dragon Defender helps a lot with kills per hour, great. If not, I know I don't have to worry about it. Got an elite clue to drop pretty early. Go do that real quick. Definitely bringing way too much food. That safe spot is like perfect. He picked no damage. So I guess maybe instead of bringing food, I'll just bring some Sarah Brews to try to out-heal a PKer. I don't need the prayer potions either. Let's open this shitty beginner casket. Garbage. Alright. Elite clue. Let's actually go do this now. Oh, that's new. Trimmed black d'hide body. Sure. That's actually weird. It said that was a new item in the collection log, but I already had one in my chest. I might need to double check that I didn't accidentally... There was a period where I briefly sold all of my clue items because it was taking a really long time for them to update the way you deposit them into the treasure chest and the POH. And I kept a record of... Well, I just bought back the ones that were in my collection log that I no longer had in my bank. And I don't think I made any mistakes there, but it just shows the one. Huh. Well, I might sell one of the other ones back, I guess. That's the only way I could have gotten it, was from the Grand Exchange. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. Principle's the thing, something, something. Alright, heading back to Lava Dragons, bringing significantly fewer supplies this time. I do not need anywhere near the amount of shit I was bringing last time. Now I'll just bring a bunch of Sarah Brews. The plan being, use these to escape a PKer, and basically no other purpose for them. And I might try the Swamp Trident, let's see. So these guys can't be Venom, so that significantly reduces the need to use the Trident of the Swamp, I think. I'm probably going to come back with Trident of the Seas. I'll finish this trip with it, though. It's slightly higher max hit. It's too bad you're going to get PK'd here, because this is extremely AFK and chill. Oh, they can be Venomed. I guess they just can't be poisoned. Maybe I didn't see the Venom ticking before. I wonder if it's better to just hit them all. the venom ticking, right? Probably still going to switch back to the Trident of the Seas. I don't want to spend Zul'Rah scales on this. So I think my plan is to stay here until I get PK'd once, and then once I get PK'd or attacked by a PKer, then I'll go do my Corrupted Gauntlet kills for the day. This is pretty good. I'm actually kind of tempted to do this instead of Rune Dragons, because I think the prayer XP per bone is higher, and this is obviously way easier. But I think that the profit is lower. The risk is stressful for me. And why else would I not just stay here? I mostly want the Visage. I'm not going to get the Visage, I'm not counting on it, but if I do 6,000 Rune Dragons, it'll get me pretty close to drop rate. I guess I'd have to do the math on how many Lava Dragon bones I need from this. Anyway, we'll see. I might include this in the repertoire, because this is quite a bit more AFK than Rune Dragons. So maybe it'll be a thing like I'll try to do some of this every day in combination with Rune Dragons and cut the total kill count for Rune Dragons down a bit. This ends up costing me Chaos and Death runes, I think, primarily, and coins. Which I'm thinking the coins aspect's going to get covered by the Onyx Bolt Tip drops. Yeah, just one of those goes a long way to recharging the Trident, so. Got another Elite Clue, gonna knock that out real quick. I guess I can get my Elite Clue drop rate to be pretty good if I got an Imbued Ring of Wealth, but that involves running Last Man Standing, which I understand is miserable right now because it's infested with bots. So, probably not going to bother with that. Apparently never gotten this clue step before. I need a black salamander and nothing else. And I haven't built the stash. Alright, Elite Casket time. What do we get? Oh. Blacksmith's Helm. Interesting. That's pretty cool looking, actually. Okay, I think I have a good... I've been kind of stressing out over here trying to decide how long I want to spend at Lava Dragons versus Rune Dragons, and I think I have a solution. So my solution is that I miscalculated earlier with my remaining Lava Skill shards that we had from running Infernal Eels, and I ended up using too many of them, and I have a bunch of regular anti-fire potions that probably should have been magic potions because I was planning on getting the extra XP from the extended anti-fires. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue doing Lava Dragons until I have enough Lava Scale shards to turn all of those regular anti-fires into extended anti-fires, and I'm also going to keep going for like 1,000 shards above that so that I have enough to make super anti-fires as well. So that's going to have us here for a while. I think we need like a total of 3,800 shards, and I have like 1,137. And what I'll probably do is, once we finish that project, I'll go ahead and take all of the Lava Dragon bones to the Wilderness Altar, just so that we know how many Rune Dragon bones we need after that. Yeah, I didn't run into any PKers, but it's getting later in the day, so I probably should do my Corrupted Gauntlet runs. I'm going to do this farming run, and I'm going to step away for a little bit, do Corrupted Gauntlet, do another farming run, and then maybe we'll go to Rune Dragons, we'll see. It's the closest I've ever been to getting the Tier 3 armor achievement. I had everything except for one friend bark, realized it too late, was like a couple ticks away from making it to craft it. Kind of a bummer. It's another elite clue. Gotta go knock that out real quick. Alright. Elite casket. Well, okay, that's preparing to say garbage, but it's a master clue step. That's pretty cool. I'm probably just going to bank that, and we'll do it once we finish the gauntlet runs. I guess if we get another elite clue, then I'll have to do it, but or I can do the elite clue and save the casket is also an option. Bronze Dragon Mask is pretty cool, too. Probably going to die due to lack of supplies on this one. Really been pushing for that Tier 3 armor. Every time I get close to it, I keep trying, and I shouldn't. I should just go for kills. Just want the achievement so I don't have to think about it anymore, you know? I can't believe I won, despite only having 8 pieces of food. Just had lucky rolls, I guess. I got another elite clue scroll. Let's go do that. I just had my nightmare happen. I also just lost my, oh my god. I forgot I was on a high-risk world from the Gauntlet. My blowpipe was full of Zora scales. I lost my assembler. I lost the clue scroll too. Oh my god. I need to process this. I've allowed for buying back an item that I lost due to getting PK'd, and I'm definitely going to do that. I'm not going back to Zora. That's not in the cards here. But I do have to go fight Vorkath until I get a natural Vorkath head drop again. Because I already got my 50k C1. I'm gonna lose all my runes this time. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, I just lost all my runes too. What have I done? Oh my god. I just made the biggest mistake I've ever made on the account, and I did it twice in a row. I was just trying to pick up my bones. Oh my god. My heart is pounding out of my chest right now. I can't believe I was that stupid. I didn't even realize I'd taken all my runes out when I teleported. I got my runes back, at least, it looks like. Hold on. So that doesn't fix the losing the blowpipe and losing the assembler mistake. Okay, the runes wouldn't have been that big of a deal. I need to like log off right now because I gotta calm down. That was really bad. It was the biggest mistake I've made in the history of the account. I will be paying for it in gold. I am going to buy my blowpipe back. The assembler is the much bigger problem, and I don't even remember what the natural drop rate is on Vorkath's head. I guess it's not terrible that I have to do more Vorkath because rare other drops, you know, it's 1 in 50. Okay, that's reasonable. Jesus. Let me go see what the damages are. I don't know what I'm actually having to pay to get my blowpipe back. I don't know if I've recently checked the number of charges on it, to be honest. I'd have to kind of guess. I think probably the way to know how many charges I had would be to look at the last VOD I did with Sacred Eels, because that should show the charge amount. So I'm going to go try to look through my VOD history and figure that out, because I'm also going to buy the scales to charge it back up roughly to what it was, probably a little bit lower than what it was, but I'm just... I'm just floored by my own stupidity. I got to be really careful whenever I get a clue scroll to hop off the world. I did not realize I was on that world. There was no warning at the lever, and I don't think there's supposed to be. Didn't even need to bring a blowpipe with me. I probably could have brought basically anything else. Okay, so the main cost of my mistake is other than having to do a bunch of Vorkath to get another head, 2.6 million gold. That's not the end of the world. Well, it's going to be worse because I have to get Zulrah scales, right? Here's my replaced blowpipe. And I gotta step away because I gotta breathe. And I gotta figure out, I gotta look through my old VODs and figure out how much. Oh my god. I'm just really freaked out. How many scales I need to buy, so I'll be back.
Yeah, so a little bit of a brutal ending there. As for why would I do that, I was really tired. I had just done a bunch of Corrupted Gauntlet. I was, pretty normal for me to get an elite clue and then leave Corrupted Gauntlet to go do it really quick and come back. I was kind of in the habit of bringing the blowpipe on the assumption that it would just be protected, right? Which apparently it's not on high-risk worlds. Whenever you have to fight things on an elite clue, it's just a little bit more convenient to kill it with the blowpipe than to bring like a rune crossbow or something, but I obviously should have brought a rune crossbow. It was a huge mistake. I also don't think I really understood how high risk worked. I thought high risk meant that you just couldn't use the protect item prayer, because that's what it says when you switch to it, but it also effectively just skulls you. So pretty expensive mistake. I guess it's a place where if I had been an Iron Man, like an actual Iron Man, that would have just been the point where I quit the account. It would have been so disheartening that I think I would have just completely lost interest entirely at that moment. Fortunately, one of my Tin Man rules is that I could use Tin Man to recover from some kind of horrific PKing loss by using money to buy back stuff that I had already earned. So that was the plan. But that blowpipe wasn't just completely full of Zulrah scales, it was also completely full of amethyst darts. So it was still pretty disheartening, along with all of the other disheartening things that were happening towards the end of this playthrough. The next episode will open with me doing a more thorough damage assessment of what all I lost, and then probably wrapping up from there. I'm going to see if I can reclaim some clips that I have from Leagues 3 Shattered Relics, because that was really what burned me out on the game, is that I was already kind of on a downturn with the base game, and then Leagues 3 came out, and Leagues 3, I don't know how many of you played it, but it was completely unfettered access to the entire game, which I think they learned to never do that again, to always have some kind of like area restriction. Because when you're able to do the whole game, You can do the whole game, and I did the whole game in Leagues 3 on a very abbreviated timeline. I got Dragon Cup, which I will never do again. It was not worth it whatsoever. When I say I did everything, like I did the Corrupted Gauntlet grind on Leagues, which isn't actually that much faster because so much of the time spent is time spent prepping. And then I actually did the Inferno, which I know the Inferno is substantially easier on Leagues, but unfortunately it gave me the same dopamine from beating the Inferno. Like my heart was still racing. It was still pretty difficult because Leagues gives you a little bit more room for error and makes the fights a little bit faster, which again gives you more room for error. But you still have to do the fight. You still have to learn how to do Zuck. You still have to be able to handle triple Jad. And so it felt like winning, which like further kind of deflated the desire to go back to the original account, especially after this disastrous wilderness thing that was just so embarrassing to have happen after all this time. I'll talk about it more. I'll show some clips from Leagues in whatever the final episode. It's either going to be 1 or 2 more after this for sure. It's really hard for me to tell in advance how many episodes are remaining because this one, although it's only 2 hours long edited, the raw video files were 96 hours and took up almost 500 gigabytes on my hard drive. So it took forever to just get it in the editing timeline and edit through all of it, even though most of it was just, skippable. So it should be 1 or 2 more. I'll set up what the next project's going to be so that you know what to look forward to, and then I'm probably going to take a break so that I can work full time on the RS3 video essay. Thanks as always for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.